welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Now today we are looking at a higher tier Spanish reading exam. Now I've only got 3 different sections of the exam, so I've got 2 bits from section A and then 1 translation part from section C. Now this is useful practice for anyone who's currently doing Spanish at secondary school. So it doesn't matter if you're doing, if you're in a different part of the world, but you're still doing Spanish, this is going to be useful, though this is a GCSE exam, okay? But if you're doing your junior certs, this is going to be practice for you as well. Or if you're doing your CXC on the other side of the world, you can also use this. So what are we looking at? For the reading, you really ought to make sure that you are reading your instructions very carefully. You can't imagine the amount of students who don't take the time to properly read the instructions and they answer in the wrong language. So make sure you're reading the instructions properly and you know exactly what you're supposed to do, because you don't want to lose marks by not being focused. Right, that being said, the first exercise we're going to be looking at in this exam, in this past paper, is an email where you are told that you have to respond by reading the questions and then placing a P if you think it's in the past tense, an N if you think it's talking about now, or an F in the box if you think they're talking about the future. So you know how important it is to get your 3 tenses down. So you have to be able to recognize the tenses in this text. Okay, so it's an email and it starts with, well, the title is Fundraising Activities. I think this is activities in plural. At Pepe's school. So it starts off with this. The subject, mi instituto, and it reads, Mi colegio organiza muchas actividades solidarias. Hoy es un día especial porque todos los alumnos dan 5 euros por no llevar uniforme. En la venta de pasteles que hicimos hace un mes, conseguimos mucho dinero. Okay? If you're following well, you're already noting the past tense. You're already noticing the different tenses as I read it out. Okay? Following on. Para algunos estudiantes de bachillerato, we should know GCSE. It's between GCSE and A-level, to be honest, but GCSE here. Yeah. Okay. Lavar coches fue un éxito total. Éxito is one of the words we've seen, remember? Éxito, success. Success. If you don't remember that word, write it down, okay? Éxito is not exit, but it's actually success, when something's been successful. Right. Otros buscan donaciones, that looks like the English word, porque van a caminar 20 kilómetros en un día la semana que viene. Okay? 20 kilómetros un día la semana que viene. Pepe. Right. First thing I always tell my students to do is this. Read over the text very quickly. Look at all the familiar words. Colegio. It looks like college. We know that that's school. Right? Muchas. It looks like much. We know that it's many. Actividades, it looks like activities, we know this. So scan through the text and see all the words that we already know. We already know especial, we know it's special. We know our numbers, 5 euros, we know that's 5 euros. So that's what you do very quickly. You scan through the text to see all the words that look like English words. So we're already halfway through translating our texts, right? The next thing we do is we're looking at our key verbs. From this, key verbs that we see, S, that comes from ser, okay? That's one of our key verbs. we look dar, which is to give. We've seen that. We're looking for lavar, which is wash, and ban, which is from the verb go, ir. Okay? So we go through our key verbs very quickly, and again, we've translated a lot of the text. So, let's translate. Mi colegio organiza muchas actividades solidarias. So, we know what that is. My school, solidaria, looks like solidary, and we know that that means aid work or to help, or it's related to charity. We've seen that word. So, you know it's something to do with gathering money whenever we see actividades solidarias. Okay, so going on, we're going to look for what they're asking us down here. Okay, non-uniform day. Non-uniform day. We're going to scan through the text and see where can we see the word uniform or referring to non-uniform day. We're going to look, where do we see uniform? We see uniform here in this part of the text. So, what is it asking us? Is the day this activity happen, is it in the past, is it now, or in the future? What does the sentence say? It says, hoy es un día especial. So today is a special day porque todos los alumnos dan 5 euros para no llevar uniforme. We all give 5 euros for non-uniform day, or to not wear uniform. So when is it? It's today, right? And when is today? Well, today is not in the past and it's not in the future. So today is now. So we're going to put an N in that box and you will get yourself your point. Now, the next one is cake sale. We're going to scan through the text and see where do we see the word cake. Now, do you remember the word for cake or sale? If you don't know the word for cake, you might remember the word for sale. Cake is, that's right, pastel. And sale is venta. So if you don't know one of these words, you will know the other. You must know the other. We will skip through that quickly. So here we've got pasteles. We know that's it. In that we've got both. Venta de pasteles. What does it say? Que hicimos. If you don't know what tense hicimos is, don't worry, because now you have the next clue. Hace un mes. Okay? Hicimos, the verb hacer, hacer. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos. Okay, so did, okay? Did tells you that it's the past. If you didn't catch that one, hace un mes, which means a month ago. Whenever you see this keyword, hace, you know that they're referring to ago, 2 days ago, 1 week ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Ago is hace. So that's your clue that it is in the past. So the cake sale was hace un mes, so it was in the past, so we're going to put a P there. Okay? Right. Car washing, that's an easy one. We know that coche means car, so we're going to scan that, and lavar is to wash, so we're going to find that in the text. Where do we see coches and lavar? Here. So we find the keywords that are here. When was it? Fue un éxito total. Again, the keyword fue, which comes from the word ser, okay? Fue. Or as well, it comes from the word ir, which is it's a complicated one, but I did a video on that. 2 verbs that translate to this same word. It can either be went or it can be was. So in this scenario, it means was. It was a total success. So if it was a total success, it was, I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it was. So if it was, obviously it's in the past. So we're going to stick a P here to show that it's in the past. And the last one, the sponsored walk. So how do we say walk in Spanish? Well, either andar or caminar. You know these 2 words, so we're going to look for that in the text. And we will find it here. Okay? So what does it say? Otros buscan donaciones porque van a caminar. They are going to walk. Van a caminar. Remember that structure. Ir a hacer. Van a caminar. They are going to walk. What tense is that? If you're going to do something, you haven't already done it. Okay, you're not doing it now. When are you going to do it? That's right, in the future. Van a caminar. Okay, so that's a clue. Van a caminar. It's telling you it's the future, but in case you still didn't understand it, it gives you another clue. La semana que viene. When is la semana que viene? Whenever you see viene, you know it comes from the word come, the coming week, next week. So it is indeed the future, okay? Next week is the future. Right, I don't want to take too long on this, guys. So we're going to move over to the next email that is in this section, and it says, my favorite music. Mis tres canciones favoritas. My 3 favorite songs. Now, for this, you have to read the text and answer the questions by putting the correct letter in the box. A, B, or C for each of these 3 questions. Okay? Right, so let's start. Tengo 3 canciones favoritas. Okay? Tengo 3 canciones favoritas. I don't have to translate that for you because I know you know what that means. La canción de Álvaro de Luna me encantó. Me encantó. I loved it. Me encantó. I loved it. La primera vez que la oí. La primera vez? The first time I heard it. La oí. Heard from the verb oír. I know you've been used to seeing escuchar, which is to listen, and oír, which is to hear. Okay? Right. The first time I heard it, I loved it. Fue en un concierto y ahora la ponen en todas las fiestas y festivales. Fue en un concierto. I'm not going to translate that for you. Okay? La canción de Maldita Nerea era la canción favorita de las enfermeras. Okay? En la residencia de ancianos donde trabajé de voluntario. Keywords, lots of keywords for you there. Al oírla, when I hear it, al oírla, when I hear it, love that structure. Al oírla, when I hear it, pienso. What's pienso? That's right. I think en ellas. A las personas mayores no les gustaba. Tampoco al jefe de la residencia. La canción de David Bisbal me alegra cuando estoy triste y me recuerda que siempre hay una persona en este mundo que me quiere cuando siento solo. Okay? Lots of keywords here for you. So, the first question is, where did Pablo hear Álvaro de Luna's song? Where did he first hear it? Was it at a concert? Was it at a festival? Or was it at a party? Now, this is very, very important because, of course, those 3 words are mentioned in the text. Okay? You hear festival, you hear party, and you hear concert in the text. So you really have to take your time and read through to see when did he first hear it. So we're going to go to our key verb, which was hear. La primera vez que la oí. The first time I heard it, what does he say? Me encantó. I loved it. But where? Fue en un concierto. Fue. So keyword is fue, which is it was. Fue. It was. It was at a concert. So that's our first reply. So we're going to put A is our first answer. At a concert. Y ahora, and now, they put it on, la ponen en todas las fiestas y festivales. So even though they mention that now they put it on at parties and festivals, that's not the first time he heard it. Okay? Right, so that one is A. The next question that you're being asked is this. Who does Maldita Nerea's song make Pablo think about? Does it make him think about the nurses at the care home, the old people at the care home, or the boss at the care home? And once again, in the text, the boss is mentioned, the old people are mentioned, and the nurses are mentioned. But who does the song remind him of? So we're going to look in the second part where we see Maldita Nerea, and we are going to read what it says. La canción de Maldita Nerea era la canción favorita de las enfermeras. So it was the nurse's favorite song. And where he worked. Al oírla, so when I hear it, pienso en ellas. So I think of them. Okay? So he was just talking about the nurses that, es feminine, las enfermeras. So down here where it says ellas, you know it's a reference to them. Okay? The nurses and not the elderly people, because that's in masculine. Ancianos. So it wouldn't be ancianos, it will be las enfermeras, ellas. Okay? So here we're going to put a because it makes him think about the nurses. En ellas, en las enfermeras. So you really have to take care, you know, you have to make sure that you're noticing agreement and noun agreements as well. That's a massive clue a lot of the times, okay? And the last one in this section is, how does David Bisbal's song make Pablo feel? So how does he feel when he listens to that song? We're going to look for David Bisbal, and it says, me alegra. Remember the word alegre is happy, so it makes me happy. Me alegra. It makes me happy cuando estoy triste. So when I am sad. So even though it mentions sad here, it doesn't mean sad because his initial reaction is it makes me happy when I am sad. So don't be confused just because you see the word written. Be careful to read the passage carefully. So how does it make him feel? Lonely, loved, or sad? How does it make him feel? It makes him feel loved, okay? Because it reminds him that somebody in the world loves him, okay? So loved. It doesn't make him feel lonely, okay? It doesn't make him feel sad, because when he listens to it, when he's sad, well, it makes him feel, it makes him remember that somebody in the world loves him, okay? I hope I didn't confuse you too much on that last one. I think it went on a little bit too long. So, but I repeat, the song makes him happy when he is sad because it reminds him that there's someone in this world that loves him. So it makes him feel loved. Right, this is going on entirely too long. So we're going to go to section C, which is up to you. This is you, and you. You're going to translate this into English, okay? So remember your tenses, remember your key verbs, and you will be okay with this one. Let's go. Yo estaba escuchando, so the past continuous. Estaba escuchando un podcast sobre mi actor favorito. Mi actor favorito. Go on. Y no sabía que ganó, in the past tense. Él ganó, remember when it's got an accent, it's not the thing, but he. Su primer premio de cine con solo 9 años. El sábado va a salir en la tele, para que sus aficionados pueden hacerle preguntas. Hacerle preguntas. Key phrase. Okay? Tendré que ver lo que dice. Tendré, future, tendré que ver lo que dice. Decir lo que él dice, lo que dice. Translate. ¿Te gustaría ser famoso? That's a question. ¿Te gustaría ser famoso? Ah, write that down. No me interesa. No me interesa. Okay? Las redes sociales, key noun. Las redes sociales son a veces crueles. Son a veces, you know, crueles. Crueles looks like the English word if you take off the ES. Okay, before you start translating, scan through the text, look for the words that you already know because they're very similar to English words. Then go through your key verbs, and then that is it. You will be able to do this. Write down below your translation for this and let me know precisely how long it takes you. Now, the whole exam, if you wish, leave a comment down below and I will post it so you can have a go at doing the whole exam, the whole reading exam. And then you can time yourself, and that's fantastic practice for you. The sooner you start, the more prepared you will be when you get around to doing your real exam. Okay? I hope you found this useful, guys. And with that, I am going to leave you until the next time. Take care. Adios.